This is a production of WTVI PBS Charlotte.
Over 100 acres of land greet you at Hodges Farm. Rustic barns peek out from the pasture.
Well, life on the farm, I kinda laid back, ain't much an old country boy me can't hack.
With a history dating back 200 years, this is the oldest running farm in Charlotte. These tall green fields used to look much different, transforming from a cotton farm to a dairy farm.
Then we kind of switched into agritourism. We got horses, went into the pumpkin patch and Christmas trees, and the rest is history.
One constant through the years, the farm's focus on family.
This is where I belong.
At 28 years old, Connor Newman is a 12th generation family farmer.
It's always kind of been my dream to come out here and work on the family farm.
Well, a simple kind of life never did me no harm, raising me a family and working on the farm.
Today, he greases hinges on the tractor, preparing for a busy summer.
That right there is a Zircon.
Newman started working here last fall, taking over day-to-day operations just last month after his uncle, Frank Hodges, passed away suddenly at 62 years old.
At his heart, he was a farmer. I mean, he's always loved this land. That's something I'm really going to miss, working with Frankie.
Now, Newman pays homage to his uncle by working the land, carrying on this 200-year-old family tradition.
It was always, my grandfather's vision for this to stay a family farm.
These days, it's less common for younger generations to grow up and become farmers by default, a trend causing the average age of a farmer to climb steadily, just as it has over the last 30 years. According to the Census of Agriculture, the average age of a farmer in the U.S. is 58 years old.
So what we see is the people with the knowledge and experience that you need to farm are aging out of the profession.
Aaron Newton manages the Elma C. Lomax Incubator Farm in Cabarrus County. These 31 acres serve as a training ground for a younger generation of farmers, giving them affordable access to land and equipment and teaching them the skills they need to be successful.
So we're trying to lower that median age.
As the average age of a farmer nears 60, younger farmers are in danger of losing knowledge and experience typically passed from generation to generation.
What we're doing here is replacing what was traditionally an intergenerational on-farm education system that started when children were very young.
Just like farmers in training sow these seeds and then watch as they grow into healthy plants, the incubator farm helps grow farmers and then watches as they can eventually run operations of their own. Growing up, spending summers at his grandparents' farm, Joe Rowland knew early on he wanted to be a farmer.
I went to a career day, I think in 6th grade, dressed up like a farmer, just jeans and a white t-shirt.
When he met his wife, Danny, the two discovered they shared the same vision.
Being around food has always been my passion.
But with no land or experience, all this young couple had was a dream. After spending 2 years training at the incubator farm, the Rowlands turned their dream into a reality.
It just gave us the opportunity to get on the ground right away, start growing right out of the gate.
Moving from an 800 square foot apartment in Uptown to this 18-acre property in Cabarrus County, and expanding the farm to include dozens of crops and some livestock. Here, Joe's passion for farming moves from his heart to his hands.
Grow food is really, if I had to sum up like what I want to do and what I want to be and who I am, that's what I do, and it's what my hands do every day.
Starting at the incubator farm allowed the Rowlands to save money before branching out on their own, investing about $300,000 in property and equipment to get started.
That doesn't take into account the personal investments and the investments in time and labor and energy.
But as the saying goes, big risks reap big rewards. Less than 3 years after they moved here, the couple says they're making a profit and expanding their customer base by delivering produce to local restaurants and selling at farmers markets.
Just having that interaction with customers and know that our food is on their table, feeding their family.
When you stop and think what you've done at the end of the day, the week, the season, or in 5 years, it's amazing. Yeah, it's a good feeling.
Life ain't nothing but a fun about a riddle. Thank God I'm a country boy. Woo-hoo!
Raising chicks and staking tomato plants, the Rowlands take pride in connecting with the community and growing the food for our future as they continue to learn the ins and outs of the land. For Carolina Impact, I'm Danielle Koser reporting.